If your agency still relies on you or your number one strategist to be the creative genius, you don't have a business, you have a bottleneck. In this video, I'll show you how to extract that genius and turn strategy into a system that anyone on your team can use to win. Hey there, I'm Ben Gerster, and I went from being the most disorganized, emotionally burnout founder in my agency to building a sellable business with structured system and repeatable strategy. Today, I'm going to give you one of the more powerful tools I've used to make that transformation. Creative work feels like magic, so we assume it's not scalable. But here's the problem with that. If all of your strategy lives in your head or your senior strategist's head, then that's not a business. It's a dependence, and dependence doesn't scale. To escape that trap, you don't just need more talent. You need to extract the invisible logic behind the talent you already have. Here's the method that we use to turn talent into training in our agency. We call it the mind extraction framework, and this is how it works. First, we identify the source. Who on your team delivers the best strategic decisions? This is your prototype. This person is the process that we want to replicate, duplicate, make it into a repeatable, scalable process. A lot of times that might be the head of creative, it might be even you as the founder. A lot of times that will be you as the founder that thinks more critically, that does this a different way. Something I hear all the time is, nobody else can do it as good as I can. Okay, great. Let's use this process and let's get other people to do it the way you do it. Okay, so we've identified the prototype. Number two here is to deconstruct the thinking. How are you doing this? How are they doing it? Let's really get in there and understand what it is they're doing. This isn't just do research and build a strategy. There's a lot more going on there in those processes. Sit them down, slow them down, get them to really think. If this is you, think about it. What exactly are you doing step by step? So what are you noticing? What is your internal checklist? How do you think about the problem? Think about it really in slow motion. First I look here, then I start to look for these things. Then I start to think about it. Okay, cool, so we're starting to see these steps. What variables matter most as you're solving this problem? How do you make this decision under pressure? How do you think quickly? What is it that you're trying to put together? How are you coming to that solution? Whether that's a visual design you're creating, a strategic initiative that you're building, a problem that you're solving, there is typically a hidden framework in your mind or in your lead strategist's mind that is being leveraged over and over and over again, and they just do it based on intuition rather than having a documented process in front of them. And that's why we're going to move to step 3, where we capture that framework. We're going to capture that thinking, the sequencing to the thinking, the judgment calls that are being made. And most importantly, we're going to systemize it. We're going to turn that thought process into a repeatable framework. We're going to use diagrams. We're going to use if-then logic trees if necessary. We want this to be a framework that we can now give to the others on the team for them to go through the same sequence, the same steps to solve that problem. And once we have this documented, what we have is your internal intellectual property for your agency, the way that you solve that problem. Not only is it going to make your company efficient and scalable, and you're going to be able to train more people on your team to think critically and do that function for the business, but you're going to have intellectual property. You're going to be able to use this to market your agency, to differentiate your agency, to talk to future clients and tell them we have a unique process for solving this thing, or to potentially selling your agency because you've documented all of the unique procedures that you have that are repeatable now in the business and that aren't just held in the heads of your key people or you, the founder. Keep in mind, one of the most important concepts here is, as people are developing these practices, these skills, these processes for the work that they're doing at your company, if they leave your company, they walk out the door with your intellectual property unless you've documented it. So I go through this process with virtually every single thing that is happening inside the business, especially the most complex, vague, gray areas like strategy work that feel impossible to train other people on how to do. When we implemented this in my agency, here are some of the things that we noticed change immediately. Our training time dropped in half. Our strategic output increased across all roles, including our junior roles. And I finally got myself out of the delivery grind. Systems are what make talent scalable, and scale is what makes freedom possible. Your agency shouldn't depend on magic. It should run on models. If you're stuck being the only one who can figure it out, it's time to build an engine. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know where your strategy still feels like a secret. I'll help you turn it into a system. Until the next time, stay focused, stay hungry, and keep hustling.